Hello, everybody. Mary Marshall here with the latest edition of Don't Wait, Grab Your Best Life Now. This won't be a real long video. I'm not planning on that. But I did want to talk to you about body noise. Last issue, I talked about food noise, and I thought, I would really like to complement that with talking about body noise. So, just what is body noise? Well, just like that food noise is that chatter in your head, right? About, I should eat this, I shouldn't eat that. That's a good food, that's a bad food. Oh no, I was bad because I ate too much. Or I didn't, I shouldn't eat, that kind of food. I should only eat this kind of food. And it really, Lucy's wanting to get on video and say hi. um, and so it can really just create so much distraction from actually paying attention to, what your body needs and to what will satisfy you. And so this issue, body noise is kind of similar. It's distracting chatter in your head about, but it's about your body, not about what you're eating. And actually, and usually this is what you would call like a body image disturbance, right? It's usually not a good thing. Um, and so there are couple of different types of body image disturbance. And there's perceptual, and then there is affective. And perceptual image disturbances are when there's a discrepancy between how you perceive yourself and what the objective reality is. Think so it's kind of about what um, how you see yourself. Like, oh, my thighs are as big as tree trunks, or I'm as big as a barn. Things like that. Um, and maybe some more subtle statements as well that you might be able to think of. Affective body image disturbances are more about how you feel about those things. And I think that it's that affective disturbance that probably drives a lot more of our behavior, right? That affective body image disturbance would be the shame you feel because you feel like your thighs are the biggest ones in the group that you're with, or maybe you're the biggest person in the room and you feel embarrassed by that and you want to hide because of that. um, Maybe you feel like you have belly rolls and you think that that's such a wrong thing, right? And it's so embarrassing, you have embarrassment over that, so you kind of keep pulling at your shirt, tugging your shirt, trying to hide those rolls, right? So um and so perceptive affective body image disturbance, that's as sciencey as I'm going to get today. So which is good. I really just wanted to touch on this because just to be supportive and to I just wanted to offer to kind of say, yeah, you're not, this is a thing, like this is a real thing that a lot of people experience. It's a very normal experience, and I want to give you some support around that. And I would give you a couple of suggestions about what to do if that body noise just kind of gets too noisy in your head, right? So, so what does this look like, right? So that, you know, this body noise can look like, right? You're going to an outdoor wedding or an outdoor party and you wear long pants, long dark pants, right? Navy blue or black, or maybe even blue jeans, right? Maybe a heavy t-shirt, right? That you feel won't cling to your body, but that's dark colors, right? Because, sometimes it's like, oh, larger bodied people aren't supposed to wear, they're supposed to wear dark colors to make them look thinner. So, it can affect what you wear. It can affect what you won't wear, right? So maybe there's a family party and there's a swimming pool, like a family member hosting the party, or there's a party at a pool somewhere, wherever. And you're like, nope, not going to happen. No bathing suit on this girl. Well, that's a perfect example. And so you miss out on getting to cool off and be in the water. Or maybe you like roll up your pant legs, your long pants, and you put your feet in the pool. But you don't get to just jump in and feel that relief and that nice fun of being in the pool. This kind of body image, this body noise might impact what you do or don't do, right? There may be things you won't do, like jog or run, and maybe that's a matter of comfort, right? Or there may be limitations with your mobility. So this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you just choose because you don't want someone seeing you moving that way in your large body because you're afraid you'd be embarrassed. And I'll tell you, I've run races and triathlons and seen very large bodied people doing them. So it is possible, right? It is possible. If that's something you kind of think, Ian, I'd love to be able to do that. Pursue it. Work, you have to train for an event, of course. You don't just run out and do it. Any size body needs to train for that. You might hesitate to exercise because, like, to go to a gym or to a park to work out because you're afraid of what someone might be thinking about your body. Horseback riding. Actually, somebody shared with me, like they wanted to go horseback riding with their partner, and but they're very large, and they're like where they wanted to go, they were too big. There was a weight limit for the horses. But then he talked to another person, and they said, "Oh, well, you can go here, and there's." What do they call it? A certain kind of horse that's big, and they like have those horses available for larger body people. So sometimes things are possible. We just don't know because we think, oh, we shouldn't even be looking for that. Instead of looking for the adaptation made for us to be able to enjoy something, we assume that the adaptation needs to be us making our body smaller. And that can really get in the way of pursuing anything because, it just seems like an out of reach possibility. Dancing is another thing. Sometimes there's no reason, unless you have a physical limitation, there's no reason that a larger bodied person shouldn't be able to dance. But sometimes people are just embarrassed. Bike riding, all sorts of things that, you can find accommodations for a larger body. But it may take some doing. And sometimes, granted, like I'm saying this knowing sometimes that may involve a different expense. So, but at least allow the possibility, don't allow the possibility and don't exclude the possibility just because of your size. Perhaps because accommodations can't be made, but it's not just because you're too big. Big air quotes around that, right? So, and any other thing you might feel is like inappropriate for someone in a big body to be doing. I talked about, some other behaviors that sort of happen as a result of that body noise, saying, oh, that body, it's too big, too this, too that. Like I talked about the tugging at your shirt, wearing just long, super long shirts that cover, your butt, cover your belly, sitting certain ways, right, to try to hide certain body parts, or holding pillows in front of you if you're sitting with a group, or not sitting at all, right? Um, that can be something too. How about taking pictures? Sometimes people try to stay out of the pictures because they, just want to hide, right? And but you want your people who care about you, people who are celebrating or documenting an important time of whatever sort, they want to remember you, right? They want to remember that you took the time, you made the effort to be there and share that time with them. Sometimes body noise may kind of make you not want to eat in front of other people, right? All of these, I wonder if any of these behaviors sound familiar to anybody watching this video. If you notice this, if this sounds familiar, drop it in the Mindset Overweight Facebook group, share your experience, and maybe you have a way you overcame that body noise, right? And got it to quiet down. I'd love to share that with you or share your experience. Maybe you had a good experience doing something like, oh, I just said, I'm going to get in the pool, and you did. And I'll bet it, and share how that felt and what fun you had. So why am I even talking about this? Like, like I said, I wanted to offer support. I wanted to offer, um, just to kind of say, yeah, you're not alone. This body noise chatter goes on in our heads for many of us. But the big connection I do want to make is that the greater the body image distortion, the lower self-esteem. And another point, I guess I'm kind of backtracking. This is a little bit of sciencey information that I found in a journal article, is that body image distortion, while it is, if you have it, which I think probably all of us, so many of us do, because none of us have perfect bodies, right? No matter what we weigh. But body image distortion, while not everybody who has it has an eating disorder, everybody who has an eating disorder does have some degree of body image distortion. And the worse the body image distortion is, the worse the prognosis is for eating disorders. And the worse body image distortion is, the worse this body noise is, if it, when it's negative, which it often is, the worse that is, the worse effect that has on our self-esteem. Now, lower self-esteem is really associated with and connected in the research to decreased self-care, right? And it kind of makes sense, right? If you kind of buy into the noise and you're not liking your body, well, what do you do with, things you don't like? You kind of just toss them aside. You don't pay attention to them. You don't take care of them. So, and people with decreased self-esteem, seek less medical care, take less care of their body and things like exercise or movement, if you will. There's less, like I said, you don't pay attention, so there's less attunement to even recognize, when you're hungry, when you're full, what you want to eat, or when you need to rest, or when you need connection, right? All that tuning in is so important. And when you're not caring about your body, or not, esteeming it, right? You don't tune into those things. And this body image distortion, this body noise, that chatter, it's really kind of a form of self-discrimination. And discrimination has been documented to increase allostatic load, which kind of the easiest way without getting into a medical discussion. It's kind of like that load of wear and tear on the body. It wears you down quicker than than when the allostatic load is lower. So okay, all that, what can you do? What can you do about it? Well, you have to maintain an honesty with yourself. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, just look in the mirror and tell yourself how beautiful you are. Not that that's a bad thing. If you can look in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm beautiful, and you believe it, I think that's a great thing to do. But if you don't believe it, whether it's true or not, and you're beautiful, right? I'll say it. If you won't, we're all beautiful in our own way. But if you don't believe it and you try to force yourself to say that, the mind knows, and you're gonna more reinforce that part of you that goes, no, you're not. No, you're not. What are you talking about? But you're this, but you're that. So find a way to be honest with yourself and acknowledge how you feel. Like, I don't like my thighs. But then you add these little qualifier words that say, but I don't like my thighs, but I'm choosing to take care of myself. I'm choosing to help myself be comfortable in this hot weather. I don't like my thighs, but I think it would be really lovely to enjoy the pool with my friends. I don't like my belly rolls, but I want to wear a nice tank top because it's such a hot day. And I love these light colors, and I want to enjoy wearing them, these bright, pretty summer colors. So you also want to try to create a sense of safety for yourself, because really that's where the negative impact of that body noise comes in. It's threatening your connection to those around you, to your tribe, to the things that you want to do. And I'm sorry about the wobbling with the camera. I just want to try to get some of these flowers in. So I want you to see them. Um, but anyway, um, so you want to create that safety for yourself. And sometimes it's when you start hearing that chatter, recognize it and just acknowledge it. It's like, oh yeah, that's me getting worried about my body again. I know. And simply take a breath and remind yourself, I'm safe. Look around. Just simply, sorry, I'm getting mosquito bites. Look around, look at something you see, listen to something you hear, touch something, even like touching your face or hand on your heart, your dog, like I have Lucy here, right? And remind yourself, I'm hearing this noise in my head. This is body noise. Mary said this is body noise. I hear it, but I'm okay. You don't have to say something about yourself that you don't believe, but just try to remind yourself in this moment, I'm safe. Simply breathing, um, right? And naming what's happening can help. Um, Let me see. We talked about that. And so, those are simple steps you can do to loosen the grip of that body noise, which is a child of diet culture, right? That says thin is good, fat is bad, you're bad if you're in a big body, all of that. It's nonsense. Or that you have to lose weight to be healthy, or you have to, uh, eat only this and not that, and like that you have to follow rigid rules, right? You can learn to make good choices about your food, not follow rules. So, but mostly reject the diet culture and that weight stigma um, in yourself. Check yourself for weight stigma that you may have, right? How do you what do you laugh at certain kind of jokes or shows about large-bodied people? Are you the one to make the joke first about yourself before somebody else does? Um, so just look for those things and reject that, right? Um, and offer yourself compassion and good care, right? And try to just reject that diet culture, at least in yourself, right? Recognize your own biases and try to be supportive and helpful to others around you as well, right? Help each other out. All right. Oh, and, you know, swim, dance, ride a bike, ride a horse, right? Whatever. I challenge you. This summer's such a beautiful time to try to do some things, right? And um, as you can, right? Try to do them. Maybe you can't get on a bicycle and ride one yet, but maybe you can walk, right? And you can wear comfortable clothes, right? That feel cool or feel comfortable to you in whatever way. Um, Colors that you like. Take a picture with people you love. Take a picture with your dog, right? if if there aren't people nearby. And I'd love to see some of those pictures. You can post them in the Facebook group, the Mindset Overweight Facebook group. So that's all I have. And it's not short, but it's instead of reading a long newsletter. So I hope that that's not too bad. So listen for that body noise. Know you're not alone. That shows up, and you know sort of try to quiet it down. Recognize that it's there, but don't buy into the noise. Have a beautiful summer, and I will talk to you in 2 weeks. Bye.